Councillor Hutton's benefit, really. We usually end up completing our period prior to the council meeting, having to twiddle our thumbs for 5 minutes, but because we don't start officially until 6:45. Tonight we're beyond that, so we're okay. The reason for that is that if the start time for the meeting is announced publicly and we can't start before that because a member of the public could claim they've been disenfranchised in some way or another. So it might seem a peculiarity, but that's the way it works, I'm afraid. So, members, if we move on then, please, to item 1 on tonight's agenda, which is apologies for absence.
We have apologies, Mr. Mayor, from Councillors Benning and Gibbons.
Thank you very much. Sorry, members, we should be chatting amongst ourselves. I was just going to make reference. Wonderful. That's you, is it? Yes. I don't know if all members are aware and whether you picked it up from last week's Tavistock Times, but sadly, Councillor Alec Venning's son died a little while ago. Actually, now it was in August, I think, from the note I read. We have sent a card, I think, have we not? Yeah, we have sent a card when none of us knew about it until we saw it in last week's Tavistock Times. But we did take the step of actually sending a card on behalf of you all and the council as a whole. And as Mrs. Smallacombe said, we have had his thanks for that. So if you weren't aware of it, that was the situation. I don't know anything about the circumstances, but he obviously died very quickly. He became ill, I think, on the 19th and died on the 21st or something. I'm afraid I don't know any details, and I wouldn't go into them in an open meeting anyway. But he has continued to turn up for planning meetings, I think, not long after his son died, actually, which was very, very good of him to do that. But anyway, that's just a piece of information for you. And as I say, we have sent a card on Councillor Mealy. On the councils we have.
On the matter of bereavement, I should have raised it with you earlier, but former Councillor Alan Hosking has passed away. He was a Liberal Democrat councillor on Devon County Council.
He was indeed, yes.
And if there's anybody in this room who are aware, who know Alan and would like to go to the funeral, it's on the 21st of September at 2 o'clock at Western Mill Crematorium. His son John, who runs Southwest Crafts, told me at the end of last week and asked for me to let as many people know who may have known his father. So it's Alan Hoskin.
Thank you for that. He was, I think, Liberal Democrat councillor for Yalverton Rural for quite some time.
Was that before you, was it?
Yes.
At the same time?
No, it was before me, I think. Just. Was there a time? Right. If we move on then, please, to item 2, which is declarations of interest. Clearly there are some matters coming up involving West Devon Borough Council this evening, and I will make a personal declaration of interest. Not a prejudicial one, which covers any of those items as they come up. Does any other councillor have any declaration of interest that they need to make? No. Councillor Mrs Johnson.
My daughter is mentioned in the Pannier Market report. She was running a stall in there, so I think I need to...
Thank you. If we can move on then, members, to item 3, which is minutes of council meetings. Not quite sure why it's minutes of council meetings, because there's only one, but there we are. So be it. So the minutes of the council meeting held on the 25th of July, they have been previously circulated to you. Are there any errors or omissions, please, on page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5, running out of fingers, page 6, goodness me, page 7, and page 8. If not, are you happy that I sign them as a true record of the proceedings? Agreed. Thank you for that, members. I'll do that later in the meeting when time permits. Item 3B, are there any matters arising from those minutes which are not covered by this evening's agenda? Town Clerk, are there any that you're aware of?
I'm aware of some.
Members, do you have any? No? And then we'll move on then, members. It's a slightly unusual situation tonight, and I'm glad we haven't got the embarrassment of having the press here, because we're having two lots of part twos. So we're going to move into part two, if Councillor Ewing